Welcome to the Masters in Entrepreneurship and Innovation webinar. We're joined by Course Director Dr Marina Biniari and a former student Hastings who's joining us from Malawi. And my name is Ben Osborne. I'm the postgraduate manager at the University of Sussex, and me and my team organise events on campus and online to help support people like yourselves who may be interested in postgrad study at the university. I'm going to be here to answer any general questions that you might have, things like scholarships or the application process. So feel free to ask them as well at the end of the presentation. But I'm going to shortly hand over to our panel to talk you through the main event, which is the Masters in Entrepreneurship and Innovation course that we offer. Just to let you know, the recording will be sent to you tomorrow, so you'll get a copy of that, but I'll also put my email address in the chat. And if you don't receive that for whatever reason, you can always contact me there. Please do ask any questions. You can use the Q&A or the chat option. The Q&A allows you to ask anonymous questions if you prefer. You can pop them in and we'll come back to them at the end of the session. But I'm going to hand over now to Marina, who's going to introduce herself and Hastings as well. So Marina, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's a great pleasure to introduce you today to our MSc in Entrepreneurship and Innovation. My name is Marina Biniari. I'm an associate professor in Entrepreneurship and Innovation and also the director of this MSc. Also, I'm joined today by one of our recent graduates, Hastings, that he's going to talk to you a bit further. So in a snapshot, what our degree is about. Our degree is among the few master's degrees in the UK that combine academic knowledge with practical skills to develop key entrepreneurial competencies. We recognize that being able to think and behave entrepreneurially is essential not only to make you competitive in your career, but also in driving change and creating real value in your immediate context. Regardless if this context is the public or private sector, whether it's social or for-profit enterprises, whether they are small or large companies, organizations, or communities. Our degree is designed to help you obtain capabilities. These capabilities basically are knowledge, skills, networks, but also the confidence which you can use which you can transfer and apply in sectors and regions that you see best. The unique selling proposition of our degree, well, it helps you develop an entrepreneurial mindset by learning not only to design and grow new ventures or entrepreneurial projects, but more importantly, in identifying and championing innovative solutions to resolve grand challenges. The premise of our degree lies on the simple realization that in conditions of uncertainty, complexity, and value divergence, and as that we experience, for example, now and they have intensified over the years, the process of creating value becomes more and more challenging for organizations, for their employees, but for policymakers, as well also for individuals themselves. During such times, there is the expectation that organizations, individuals, policymakers need to pursue entrepreneurial opportunities to address known but also unknown problems in a responsible and sustainable way. Entrepreneurship and innovation, as we understand it in our local and international context, is the solution. However, recent findings from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor report suggest that achieving entrepreneurial activity is challenging. Yes, many entrepreneurs, both new and established, are addressing sustainability development goals. Yes, many of them have shifted their attention away just only from pursuing economic goals to also valuing entrepreneurial and sustainability practices. But at the same time, the fear of failure continues to be a significant barrier for new startups. At the same time, despite the rise of new technologies, many startups are not innovative enough. Recently also, we have experienced a significant decline in the quality of the entrepreneurial environment of many countries around the globe. When we look at the companies, also we recognize that they are continuing to facing significant challenges regarding how innovative they are. And they see these challenges reflected on their longevity, which has shrunk over the last 2 to 3 decades. Indeed, even large, established international organizations that in the past they have been extremely successful by being creative and innovative through innovation, now they lack innovation readiness, mainly innovation practices and capabilities related to moving the portfolio of projects to make an impact. So, in such hard times, if such conditions are so challenging, how do organizations and employees can release their entrepreneurial agency? Our premise is that individuals are more capable and confident to think and behave entrepreneurially when they learn about the entrepreneurial process and they are able to apply this knowledge. We designed this master's course to equip you with what we call an entrepreneurial competencies compass. A compass that will make you not only knowledgeable, but also you will be articulated, capable, and confident to embark into an entrepreneurial career. When we think about our degree, we have structured it around 3 main parts. During semester 1, you will be introduced to key and core modules around entrepreneurship theory and practice, managing innovation, and design thinking, a module which is very unique and is not offered so frequently among business schools. Through design thinking, you're able to develop and expand your entrepreneurial mindset for innovative problem solution. In the second semester, you will also move to more practice-based teaching, and there you're going to practice the process, the challenges, and you're going to simulate how it is to start a new venture as a team, but also as an individual. During the summer, you're going to be working on your research projects and dissertations, which can be, and they will be, on the topic of entrepreneurship and innovation. And this is your opportunity to specialize on a topic of entrepreneurship innovation that you think will help you in your future career. At the same time, we have developed different pathways and different modules around these pathways to help you specialize, if you like, around finance, international business, sustainability, marketing, but also innovation. One key thing that we're very proud of is the approach that we take towards teaching and learning. We place a strong emphasis on innovation and strategic thinking, along with our clear commitment to sustainability, ethics, and practice. We recognize that knowledge comes in many forms, and we leverage this plurality both in how we assess your progress and performance, but also in how we deliver our teaching. Expect in our classes to be introduced to the latest academic literature through journal articles. You will be involved in the analysis of significant case studies. You're going to be working on hands-on projects. You're going to engage in class debates, and also you're going to immerse yourself into data analysis and group work. More importantly, we have taken actions to bridge the gap between academic theory and real-world application. We are using simulated entrepreneurial experiences in order to simulate for you the entrepreneurial environment. Also, we utilize the experience of our participants to enhance in-class discussions. We will also invite regular guest speakers from the local but also international entrepreneurial ecosystem. And also, you're going to have the opportunity to conduct your own research projects. Our faculty members bring a wealth of expertise across various domains, including marketing, international business, strategy, and of course, entrepreneurship innovation. Here are the names and the faces of some of the people that you're going to meet from September onwards once you join our degree. More important for us, we recognize that this is an important, significant year for your personal development, but also for your professional development. So during this one intensive year of academic studies, we want you to make the best out of the time that you're going to invest. So we're going to help you and we're going to support your learning experience by allocating you with an academic advisor. All our module conveners also, they have dedicated student hours where you can obtain more clarification around your modules, but also to discuss with them your research ideas, your career concerns, and any questions around the modules. Myself and my deputy director, we're going to be regularly meeting you through social events to collect feedback, take actions to improve your learning experience, and ensure that you have an enjoyable but also impactful learning experience during this 1 year at Sussex. Very importantly, and this is one of the unique selling propositions of our business school and of our MSc program, as you are joining our MSc, you're also joining an entrepreneurial ecosystem, and we help you develop social capital around this. Our university is privileged to have a very experienced innovation center that commercializes innovation across different faculties. Also, our university has a dedicated entrepreneurship and career hubs. We have a Startup Sussex competition, and of course, we introduce you to the Silicon Brighton events and to the Sussex Chamber of Commerce. This is just a few of the key parties in this entrepreneurial ecosystem that you're going to be introduced. Of course, we understand that it's an important time for you, and employability for us is important. We really try to provide these employability opportunities to our graduates. And when we look back to see how and where our alumnus have been employed, we recognize potential pathways for you. Some of them, they have embarked into self-employment and they have become founders or co-founders of their own startups and their own foundations. Others, they have joined management positions in small, medium, or family businesses. Others, they have taken entrepreneurial positions as new business developers in international organizations, in entrepreneurial ventures, in the public, but also in the private sector. Some others, they have decided to embark into their own consultancy career and become consultants in the area of business development. Also, at the same time, we have seen a significant change in how our graduates are able to reposition themselves and renew their CV and how they narrate their competencies, either through the individual modules they have taken or by specializing through their dissertation. And of course, interacting with the entrepreneurial ecosystem and with the academic community of our university gives you a competitive edge. We are privileged in this business school to leverage the excellence and of our services that we have received from the careers and the entrepreneurship team. This is an award-winning team that really provides specialist support throughout your studies, but also 3 years after graduation. Here are just a few names, the location of where they're based, but also where they're working in different companies across the globe of our alumnus. For example, we have people that they're working in the public sector, such as Della from Jordan. We have also individuals that are working for Action for Humanity programs, such as Sami in Turkey. We have people who are working in large organizations, such as people that they work in Dell Technologies, while others, they share their time between UK and Nigeria. All of them are very successful, and all of them, they speak very highly of the experience that they had during this 1 year, and they maintain active contacts with us. Who should take this course? We recognize that this course may be appropriate for a variety of people, and indeed, when I look across who were the people joining today's webinar, I recognize that we don't only attract and we are a degree that interests recent graduates of other business schools, but also we recognize that people from engineering, from economics, even from psychology or science, they're interested in joining this degree. Because they try to gain additional career-focused skills and develop an edge while they're developing their career prospects. At the same time, also, we recognize that a lot of professionals, people who have been working for many years in the industry, and they recognize that this is the time for them to make it into a more managerial role, and they try to specialize in entrepreneurship and innovation. So there is variety in our current cohort, with most of them, for example, coming from the industry, but also with a few graduates. And this has been the trend for quite a few years. So our MSc helps both recent graduates, but also for professionals to do this next step in their career. In terms of our entry requirements, I here present this slide where it gives you a few more details about the English language requirements, but also your degree requirements. And we are more than happy to take more questions in case you need these clarifications. Of course, our application deadline is for the 1st of August and 1st of September for international UK-based students. At the same time, we recognize also that economic times are quite tough right now. So, of course, we would like to share with you the insights of how we financially support some students and our excellent candidates as they apply for our degrees. Here is a list of different scholarships that potentially and international awards for which you can apply, especially if you're coming from certain countries. Ben and myself, we are more than happy to provide you more insights into these scholarships and into clarifications about your eligibility, whether you can apply and when you can apply for these scholarships. As I already mentioned, we are part of the University of Sussex Business School, and we are very proud about the successes, but also the position of our business school. The uniqueness of our business school lies on the fact that we know and we understand innovation and entrepreneurship. We collaborate across disciplines to shape global issues in business, management, and society, making an impact on policy, practice, and people. We understand the innovation process. We enable our students and our graduates to engage and apply and engage with the innovation entrepreneurial process. And also we help them to make an impact, either as policymakers or through their position as entrepreneurs or as managers. Joining this master's degree also enables you to join a global business school. These are just a few of the rankings that we have achieved over the last few years, and these are just the recent recognition of our excellence when it comes to research. At the same time, as you are joining this business school, you're also joining an accredited business school. This is very important to be accredited by these organizations because these accreditation bodies certify but also ensure the quality and the high quality standards that we maintain and we preserve along our degrees, especially when it comes to our master's degrees. Also, you're going to be joining our business school's STEAM alumni network. And these are just a few examples of important individuals who have not only completed their studies within our business school, but also they have pursued big careers in India, in South Korea, in Zimbabwe, but also here in the UK, just to name a few of them. So joining this master's degree, you also join this network of alumnus. You get to connect and interact with these people if you wish to do so. Here is also the quote with one of our recent graduates, Sandy, that currently she's based at Saudi Arabia, and she found the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Brighton so stimulating and supporting for her learning experience. Our location also is very accessible and unique. Our campus is located just 10 minutes away from Brighton, one of the UK most iconic cities. The university is located near London and near also the big international airports such as Gatwick and Heathrow. But Brighton itself, which is located at the south coast of East Sussex, is a seaside city famous for its sense of inclusivity. In our university also and across the campus, you will be introduced to a series of student support services. We take great pride of how our campus has evolved over the last few years and the improvement of the student center, but also you're going to have more support regarding your well-being. Especially if you're coming from international countries, you're going to receive so much welcoming events in order for you to integrate and be introduced to other students within the campus. Our facilities are also excellent. Not only we have gyms, not only we are supported with a great system of supermarkets here around the campus, but also if you wish, you have 24 hours to your library, you have a student life center, of course, we have the Career and Employability Center and a very strong student union that can always support you. But enough from me. I would like now to hear from our colleague from Hastings, one of our recent graduates. So Hastings, I would like to hand over to you and my presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me. Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Hastings Golosi from Malawi, Africa, and I'm truly honored to be here, not just as a proud graduate, but also someone who has really benefited from this program. So just a bit of my background. I started my entrepreneurship journey in 2011 when I joined my first college here in Malawi. So I made a choice to be an entrepreneur way back. So over the years, I've come up with different businesses, but I've failed before. I've won some, but then it was a time whereby I was like, I think I've been doing businesses just maybe from my head. I need to now be equipped fully. So that's why I made this choice in 2023 to go to Sussex University. So I was really excited by the opportunity to learn. One, first was the proximity of the Sussex University Innovation Center, because me being a practical entrepreneur, I was like, I think I need to go and to understand things on the ground rather than just more like a guesswork. So it has been an experience journey for me. So when I arrived at Sussex, I came in just as a creative entrepreneur from Malawi, because one of the business that I was doing is HD Plus Creations. So basically, it was more like a creative agency. So it was just me being a creative entrepreneur from Malawi, a filmmaker, a documentary, a storyteller, and someone who had seen a lot of problems on the ground. I felt, like I've said before, I didn't know what does it need for somebody to come up with a very successful business. So I was like, okay, fine, let me go. So when I arrived at the Sussex, actually the first 2 weeks, I was like, you know what, let me meet my professors. So, that moment whereby I was like, okay, I need to meet them before I start going to classes, because I had a lot of problems. I had a lot of ideas in my head. So I was like, I need answers now before. So I remember one of my professors told me, you know what, let the learning shape the solution. Go to the class first, understand the modules, and then let's have this conversation in August or September. So I did that. So, and I remember one of the modules, design thinking, really changed me, because you need to understand, I'm coming from somewhere whereby we propose the solution first before putting the human-centered design approach. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm a creative person, I'm an innovator, let me innovate something. People will adopt later. But I failed big time. And during my time when I was running my first business, I remember I could see even big organizations here in Malawi just taking things to communities and say, here's the innovation, please adopt it. And then I've seen big organizations failing they couldn't force the communities to adopt different innovations, different policies. So during this module, design thinking, it really helped me a lot to understand how best you can put, I think, human in the forefront. And that really changed me forever. And then there was digital transformation, but also a new venture creation module. this course helped us to start a business from scratch, problem validation, business validation to the end. And like I said before, I've done a lot of businesses, but I didn't know how to exit these businesses. So for our friends, it's like when you're starting a business, you need to understand how are you going to exit it? Are you going to sell shares? Are you going to put it maybe on a stock exchange, or are you just to, So for me, this course really told me something that, you know what, it's easy to start a business, but a lot of people will fail when it comes to exiting. So I think that was also a milestone. So from that journey, throughout my 8 months, I built Erube Consulting. So Erube Consulting, it's a business that was built in the Kamba house. So I was staying in Kamba house, that Kamba 19C. That's where I was like, after classes, I could go back to my room and then starting reflecting all these modules. So the good thing about Sussex University, all these modules, by the time they come together, you can start with design thinking. By the time you're finishing your year, you'll be like, oh, so this is linking to this. This is marketing. This is leadership. I was like, why are we learning how to be good leaders? Then I had to reflect back. Okay, I've been running businesses. I've had a lot of employees, but I was failing to manage them. And that was exactly about this module. It really equipped me to understand the human resource. How best can you be a good leader when you're running a business? So it was an eye opener, because so before I was coming to Sussex, I had 10 things that I had to tick. And one of them was, by the time I graduate, I need to start a new business. That's why I was so impatient. I had to meet my professors the first days of my days at the Sussex, because I wanted to really understand what would be the process like. And I thank that they really supported me to the extent the time that I was graduating, I came out with my degree. I came out with a business that is now fully functioning. So basically, my business is so about helping communities to adopt innovations, how best they can adopt policies, how best they can adopt new behaviors. Because where I'm coming from, Africa, we have that issue whereby a lot of organizations have the money, they have the innovations, but nobody is using those innovations. So, and that was my research, because for me, because I went to Sussex prepared, even my research proposal was more linked to my new business. So basically, my proposal was to investigate factors that influence the adoption of highly innovative products. And thanks to Dr. Marina, she really helped me even crafting the title itself. And from that, when I was doing data collection, it's when I understood that, oh, there's a gap whereby organizations have the money, have the innovations, have the policies, have the behaviors, but nobody's adopting this. So how best can I help communities? How best can I help market adopt these innovations? And that, I can tell you, I can stand tall to say this was built from my experience at Sussex. And then when I came back now, the good news was I was just a consultant. And then when I came back, when I graduated, I was like, you know what? So Sky Energy was like, you know what? From today onwards, I think you'll be a director. So I was promoted from just a consultant to a director of Sky Energy Africa, whereby we are pushing. We're also doing more awareness on energy, but also electric vehicles here in Southern Africa. So for me, that has been a milestone, and I can stand tall, because before my life at Sussex, even in my LinkedIn page was just this, street vending person. But then after I graduated, now I had to put all these things together and say, I think I built a framework. I was able now to follow. Now I'm able to follow policies. I'm now able to understand. Oh, this is what happened. Now I can argue. I can contribute to my government to say, okay, fine. If you want to push innovation, here's a space, because now I think I have now all the knowledge. So to everyone listening today, you don't have it all figured to how to come to Sussex. You just need to have a deep question. You just need to have real passion and the willingness to grow. Sussex gave me clarity, it gave me confidence, but also it gave me a global network. And you have no idea. Just me spending a year at Sussex, it has opened more doors for me, and I'm very excited for that. So like I've said, one of the things that I'm not going too detailed about the courses, but I think one of the highlights of the program for me was to learn from, also to connect with the real world innovators. So the idea, the approach at the Sussex is, apart from we understanding the theory, but also there's been time whereby they bring in somebody who is a full-time entrepreneur and then sharing us his or her experiences, and that was a milestone because we could really interact with people who have been there before us, those people who have started a lot of businesses, and we were there asking them, why did you fail and why did you make it? And that was a plus. So for me, it was not just academics, it was not just theory, it was more of practical lessons, and I think I thanks for that opportunity for me. Like I said, also the Sussex Innovation Center, and I've seen my friends really benefited a lot because they joined the Innovation Center from day one. They're like, okay, fine, we'll do this. And I've seen them establishing business while on campus. So you can see, for those people who attended the Innovation Center, they really benefited. Just for me, just attending the classes and interacting, I also benefited. So you don't need to be an entrepreneur before, but Sussex University will take you through that incubation process for you to have a business. So, like I've said, there is a course, new vision creation and simulation. Like that really changed me because I remember it was a moment whereby, okay, this course was about how to start business from scratch. So we took time on perfecting the problem. How best can we validate the problem? Do you think there are customers for your solution? Yes, let's validate it. And that was a milestone. And that really helped me to push even in my consultants firm, whereby now that I consult, I have a lot of clients that I consult. So it's like, it's not just you having an idea, but you really think people are going to buy whatever you're selling. If yes, how best can we perfect it? And then how best can we push it forward? And that was a milestone. Like I said, I'm coming from the creative industry, and there is a course that I really also like, innovation in the creative economy. That was a milestone. I was like, okay, this is exactly what I wanted to be. I've been running a creative agency for 10 years, but I didn't know all these things. So it was me more like now understanding things, like if I doing like reverse. Oh, that's why I failed. That's why I didn't doing that. Oh, so it was now me trying to understand a lot of things. I've said about my research. I think that was also the milestone. Lastly, let me say something about entrepreneur finance. So as an entrepreneur, it's very easy to start business. It's very easy to have networks, but how to fundraise, how to raise capital, that was an issue. And that was, so I told myself, by the time I graduate, I need to stand tall and how to raise capital, how to invest, how to attract investors, and how to pitch. Through entrepreneur finance, that module here also helped me to stand tall and say, I think if I have an idea, I can also know how to sell. With a mix of marketing, I think I can be able, and that was a milestone. So by the time I was going to Sussex, I was just this person who had been there before business. But at the time I was graduating, it was now a full-baked person. Now I can stand tall I can start any business tomorrow because I know how to validate and also know how to invest, also to attract investors. So I think I'll just put in some things that to you future students. My first thing is to come with questions, not just answers. Like I said, I arrived at Sussex with more problems than solution, and Sussex helped me to come up with solutions. And now I'm a very, very happy person because I think, like I said, apart from Aerobe Consulting, apart from my promotion at Sky Energy, one of the things that I had to tick was to start farming. So I was like, okay, fine, I will go home and I'll start farming. And now I can stand tall that business I have also started, because at first I had the land, but I didn't know how to start. When I came back, I was like, okay, fine. Now I know the formula. So now the formula is clear that I've started that. But also, like what my professors advised me, let the learning shape you. You will understand by the time you start your first class And by the time you graduate, you will understand, you'll be shaped fully. But also your local experience also is a global goal, because for me, I had to interact with people, a lot of entrepreneurs from Sussex. So I think lastly, if you're thinking about Sussex, don't wait for the perfect time. I think this is a best time. You don't need to wait for the perfect idea. Just bring your passion, your story, and your hunger to learn. And I'm telling you, I guarantee you the rest will come. Through the people you meet, the ideas you explore, and the challenges you embrace, I know Sussex will help you to perfect your idea. So for me, Sussex didn't just give me a degree, it gave me a direction. It gave me a new lens to see things differently. But on top of that, it gave me 3 opportunities: LB Consulting, LB Farms, but also now I lead a very big organization in Africa. And for me, that was a milestone. So for you here, guys, your chapter is waiting for you. If you want to become a real entrepreneur, a business development in a very big agency, I know a lot of my classmates, they're working in big organizations. They did not take my route whereby becoming the self-employed, but they're contributing to the big organizations. So for me, if you want to make a decision, I think Sussex is the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hastings. This is amazing. Thank you for sharing your experiences. So we're more than happy to take any questions, Ben.
Yes, if anyone has any questions, I've put a message in the chat, but do let us know. We've got a bit of time now, so any questions for Hastings, myself, or Marina, please do pop them in the chat or the Q&A. I'm going to also put my email address in there, just in case you have any issues. If you don't receive the recording, for instance, and we'll send you that tomorrow, you can always contact me directly. And if you've got any general questions, you can always email me there. Marina, I'm just going to put your email address in the chat again. I think it's just gone to hosts and panelists there, so I'll just make sure.
Sorry.
That's okay. I can copy it in for everyone. But yeah, do type any questions in. There can be a little bit of a delay if you're typing a question, so sometimes it can take a while. So Zafia has asked, have you ever got any support from people? I guess that's for you, Hastings. Zafia, maybe you can elaborate a little bit, but Hastings, did you get any support? I don't know if that means support while you're at the university from our student support teams or anything like that, or before you arrived, but if there's anything you want to add on that, Hastings.
Thank you so much. Yes, so I graduated in 2015, so it took more than, I think, close to 7 years for me now to start my master's. So I didn't understand, this, how to write research paper, how to write the academic papers. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm coming from Malawi. It's a small country. I don't even understand this technology. But what Sussex University did, it's more than the approach is like they have leveled the field whereby we don't care where you're coming from. We are all starting from zero. So the support is there online, but also I met one of the academic support team advisors were like, okay, don't want Hastings, we'll take you through. So that support academically, it was a milestone for me. That's why, I got a distinction in my research, because for me, it was my first time, like, okay, how am I going to do this? So for me, it was like from day one to the day I graduated, the support was both academic. For the business, I think I've already said the support has been there. I've met almost all my lecturers, all my professors, because I was like, okay, I have this idea. Can we meet? Okay, let's meet. Once okay, Hastings, what if you take this route? What if? And I'm telling you, the framework that I'm using, Erube, Consulting, Explore, Listen, the Erube, it's an abbreviation, that was helped I got from my professor. So for me, to answer your question, both academic and business, yes, I got the support. Thank you.
Thank you, Hastings. That's good to hear. Hopefully that answers your question, but do let us know, Zafia, if there's anything else you want Hastings to talk about on that topic. I've put a link in the chat as well to how to apply for master's courses at Sussex, and I'll put some information around our funding options, so scholarships, student loans. I mean, you can have a look there. And again, if you've got any questions on those, do let me know. Marina's also put the slides in there, so you can download a copy of the PDF of the slides used today.
Yes, and I'll be more than happy to address any questions. Please use my email address. I'll be more than happy to provide any clarifications around the modules or any other forms of support. We take a holistic understanding of the needs of our students. So we try to address also issues of well-being, of health, of social interaction, of building connections, supporting them with their specific projects, and of course, getting also support regarding the academic skills that the students may need and may recognize during the process of their studies that, okay, I need some support, for example, of how to write my thesis or how to write an essay. So even writing skills, academic skills, how to use the library, how to take advantage of, for example, of the library and the different databases that we have free from the library. All the support is there. And we especially introduce these different these hubs of support in the first few weeks of coming to Sussex, correct, Hastings? So you're introduced to the variety of the hubs of support, but then, as Hastings correctly mentioned and rightly mentioned, it's also about your own initiative to engage with us. Even the academics, we can be extremely supportive to your and listen very carefully to your concerns, to your suggestions, to your ideas, and we can be great sometimes in giving you career advice as well.
I can't see any questions that have come in, so unless there's any last questions, do put them in now. Otherwise, we'll end the session in a second. Oh, here we go. Just as I talk about ending the session, we get a message in. So let's see. Just bear with me. I'll see the question. Ernest. So Ernest is from Ghana. So yes, you're echoing Hastings's thoughts there around the resources and the challenge of figuring out how to use them effectively. So you'd like to ask about scholarship opportunities for students from Ghana. So I have put a link in our scholarship to our funding pages, and I'll also put a direct link to the scholarships resources that we have. So I would very much recommend you have a look here on this link I'm putting in now, and you can search by course, you can search by nationality as well, or you can just browse all of the scholarships that we have on this page, and there's a database of scholarships. All of the scholarships that we currently have are advertised there. Have a look, see if there's any you're eligible for. All the details around the requirements, the eligibility, and how to apply will be listed on those scholarship pages. But if you've got any questions, you're not sure about anything, once you've had a look, do contact me on my email addresses in the webinar chat. Zafia asking about undergrad scholarships. Yes, there will be undergrad scholarships as well. We are sort of focusing on the master's course here, but I'll put some information around that for you as well. Just bear with me. We will have, here we go, undergrad scholarships. I'm going to pop a link for the undergraduate scholarships link in as well, if that's what you're interested in. There you go. And similar with the undergrad scholarships as the master's ones, all the scholarships we have will be listed there, and you can always get in touch if you've got any specific questions around those scholarships.
Ernest, can I just say that you are doing a great bachelor's degree, environmental safety engineering. I mean, with so many applications and of course, innovation, like how you're utilizing all this engineering knowledge to practice that and create value and solve problems. So we do have actually quite graduates from previous candidates that they came from an engineering background, and I can definitely verify this also as an academic in entrepreneurship. This is one of the best combinations. Start your degree first in engineering and then move into entrepreneurship innovation. This really gives you a significant edge in any engineering, manufacturing, big organization, but also as a policymaker. Like you can make a difference in your own country, in your own region. So I hope you consider our masters.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Does anyone have anything more to add? If not, we'll probably end the session quite soon.
Now, for me, I'll just say I'll finish with this like ideas are like seeds. So Sussex gave me the soil, it gave me the water, and it gave me the sunlight. So you can have all ideas, but what Sussex will do to you, it will give you that environment, that soil, that water you need to push your seed, and then the sunlight. So for me, I think that's a milestone for me. Thank you.
Zaifa, you're mentioning, are you training the youth? Would you like to elaborate, please, what you mean by this? You're welcome, Ernest. I appreciate you.
Is that my question?
No, there is a question from one of our attendees. Are we training the youth? If you mean whether we also welcome fresh graduates from undergraduate degrees, yes, we do. And this is a significant proportion of our applicants and of our students. It's really interesting to welcome students that have just finished their bachelor degrees, and their first option is to continue within a master's degree. And at the same time, we have a very big undergraduate group of modules and courses, but here we primarily focus on the MSc, which is a postgraduate. Thank you. I hope I was able to address your question, Zaifa.
Yeah, I can't see any more questions. Said it already, but we've got our contact details in the chat, so do feel free to email us if you've got any more questions. You can email me about general questions and Marina about any course-specific questions. And yeah, and do get in touch. I will share the recording with you. It will go via Zoom, so you get an email from Zoom, and that will go through tomorrow automatically. But if you don't receive that for whatever reason, you can always email me, and I will send you the link myself. And I think unless anyone else has anything to add, we'll end the session there. And thank you so much for our panel. It was a really interesting presentation. Hastings, it was lovely to have you here to give your point of view as well. It's always nice to hear from previous students. And thanks everyone for attending. And hopefully we'll see some of you on campus in September.
I look forward to that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Hastings and Ben, for the great organization.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hastings, for sharing this experience. It's really rewarding to know that we have been the sunlight.
Thank you so much. Thanks to you, and thanks, Beth.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.